Good afternoon, Darryl. It's wonderful to be interviewing you today on the topic of health and nutrition. Could you update us with what your latest programs are on health?
Yes, of late I have been giving a talk and presentation titled Small Changes for a Big Impact in Your Health, Your Food Supply, the Environment, and this planet. Now, it has been quite some time. I have been doing workshops on health, that is natural integrated healthcare, since about 2011. Uh, and this was mainly focused towards healing chronic illnesses like high BP, cholesterol, diabetes, liver problems, arthritis, hormonal imbalance, obesity. And over this time, doing these workshops in different cities in India, the focus was primarily on a person's own health. People who are sick, how they could reverse all of these illnesses uh, with a natural integrated therapy. And the components of this were diet and nutrition, which played a very important part. Then acupressure for diagnosis and healing, internal natural cleanses, a change of habits, unhealthy habits to healthy habits, and also some degree of taking the support of herbalism, that is herbs to cure. A lot of people have wonderfully taken up these programs and in the comfort of their own houses, along with the guidance of my book on the topic, they've been able to reverse these illnesses. But there were some deeper things in the background also that started coming up in my workshops, which was what happens beyond yourself, and the implications to your family and your surroundings, where you go, what kind of food do you eat, what is the format of your food, where do you buy it from, who are the people who decide what is sold and what is available to you as food, and the bigger cycle of what's happening in the marketplace. So this talk came mainly because I saw a connection and a flow in the entire system, which was having larger implications in society. So it starts with what is natural food. To remain healthy, you have to have uh, whole foods that are natural, and I also advocate the principle of eating local and seasonal. This is very ancient knowledge that has been lost in modern times, and in modern times you have unnatural formats of food. uh, what I'm hinting at is packaged food products. It's very easy to understand something like what is natural food. For example, now in Goa it's summertime and this season for mangoes. So mangoes only come during this part of the year, and when a mango gets ripe, there's a short window time frame in which you can eat it naturally. So it gets ripe on the tree, and if it falls down, if you pluck it, you have about 3, 4, 5 days or a week perhaps to consume it, after which it will naturally start decomposing. Now it is we who have decided that no, this mango should be available probably all throughout the year. So the only way of making it available is putting it in some kind of packaging like a tin, and stopping the natural process. What is natural process? If the mango was ripe and fell down from a tree on the ground, then the bugs and beetles and what you have on the ground would get to it very soon, and it would start decomposing in 3 to 4 days. So that is the natural process of food, which we do not want to respect, we don't want to understand. So we say that, no, let me take this ripe mango, put it in a tin, and the only thing that will stop the natural decomposition of this mango is some unnatural substances, and that's what you can read on the cartons as preservatives and stabilizers. In so many of our packaged fruit products, whether it is sweetened milkshake or it is some 2-3 items put together, you will see that there's a long list of things on the packaging. Now one of them is you have sometimes synthetic artificial taste enhancers, something for an artificial smell, uh, then also some coloring agent. And when these things are put together, and so that your product doesn't decompose, you have a preservative. So there are these 3-4 things that you put. And if you've noticed, always there will be something also called as a stabilizer. Now what is a stabilizer? A stabilizer is also another chemical. If it were not put in that tin or that packaged food product, all these other chemicals would just react with each other and decompose or destroy the whole food. So it's bad enough that we are putting 3-4 chemicals in our food. On top of that, we have to put a super chemical called a stabilizer, which will cancel out the cross reactions from all of these unnatural things in our food. Now, fine, we package it, we keep it on a shelf, and it can last for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But eventually we are going to consume it. And what happens when you consume it? It gets into your digestive tract, and digestion begins. That means it breaks down all of these substances, separates them, and they start individually acting on your digestive lining, on your stomach, on your intestines, on your colon. And these chemicals start doing what is called free radical activity, meaning that they rob the electrons because they are unbalanced chemicals that are put together. And as they pass through your digestive system, they rob electrons from your intestinal lining, your stomach lining and digestive tract, and that causes internal inflammation. And this is slowly becoming known, and that's the main reason why we have this movement on antioxidants like green tea and so many other extracts of fruits and all. What are they trying to do? They are just trying to repair all this damage that has been caused. So when I treat people personally, one-to-one for serious illnesses, and I have been doing this since 2005, so it's been over 12 years now. When I treat people one-to-one, I explain this to them and tell them the only way you're going to have good health or recover your illnesses if you stop putting these artificial foods with all the chemicals in them in your body. And most of my serious patients, they get off packaged food products completely, and they are mostly eating fresh fruits and fresh salads and bringing vegetables from the market, cooking, all fresh cooking and eating. And that's one of the keys to reversing many of these chronic illnesses. If you look at the picture that's on my advertisement for this talk, it is showing a couple who are standing in a shopping mall, and you can see packaged food products all over the place. Now that's of course meant for consumers, and they take it home. Now what's happening to all that packaging? It is of course being opened up and thrown in the dustbin. It finds its way into landfill, it finds its way into rivers, and finally ends up in the sea. And that's why this is one of the biggest problems, why you have so much garbage on the planet. Just because you do not want to respect natural law, you do not want to eat natural foods, and you want to put them in all these boxes and make concoctions of them, fall sick from them, and then later have them pile up at some place. Thirdly, if you look at what are these packaged food products made of, so much of it is paper, which is cutting of trees. They all have plastic linings which are coming from petroleum products, and that is from oil products and from fossil fuels. And so you have another reason why petrol prices on the planet are going high, because so much of that consumption is coming into our daily things that we use. So you also have the problem of high prices, and you have there's a lot of conversion also that happens from a tree or this plastic, and which causes an environmental damage to the planet. And we don't even consider it or are aware of it. And some of us are the same people who are screaming and shouting about global warming or the garbage situation or the environmental problem, and we formed our societies and NGOs, and we are fighting against somebody or the other trying to fix these problems, and we think the problem is out there. But actually the problem is with us in our daily choices and what we are doing on a daily basis. So this talk of mine is about that. I give some details of some of the most harmful packaged food products we're eating on a daily basis. That comes from my book, from a chapter in my book called Common Foods That Ruin Your Health. And we are eating certain foods that we should not be eating, and what's worse is we package them, we put these chemicals and make the problem even bigger. I'm sure many of you may have already know about my book. There's a copy of it here. This is how it looks like, Become Healthy or Extinct. It's now being read in over 100 countries. It was released in the starting of 2012. And I'm getting wonderful feedback from all over the world from people who are really appreciating the way this book is written in simple language and giving us so much of information on the natural reasons and the things that we are doing to damage the human body and cause all of these illnesses, chronic illnesses, autoimmune illnesses. And people like it because it very nicely explains how to reverse all these things by undoing the wrong things that we do on a daily basis. So I have been recently started giving this talk in places in Goa, and now I'm going to be doing it in Delhi and in Mumbai as well, and other metro cities in India. And I look forward to traveling around many places, sharing deeper insights about this to people, and hope that there's a community awareness and revolution, which is the only way that we can really deal with an increasing number of sicknesses in the world. Even diseases like cancer. There's a chapter on cancer in my book, and I'm clearly explaining the three main reasons for cancer. And one of them is this. One of them comes in the category of inorganic substances that get entrained into the human digestive system and the blood system and the lymphatic system, and how they create chronic cellular irritation. And how the chronic cellular irritation, the only response the body can do is fight back that irritation, and which causes mutation of cells. So this is a pretty serious topic, and I really would like people to get into the depth of it, understand it, and help themselves and spread this message in society and help others heal too.
What would you like to tell people about their food supply and its relation to health?
Yeah, about our food supply, I urge people to look at what is the actual content of all these food products that they buy, and who are the people who are putting out these food products. Are they nutritionists, or they're just companies that are manufacturing something that sells? Okay, so this is a topic I often speak about in my health workshops, which is that surprisingly most of our food producers are not people who are educated on nutrition. And even if they do, some of them do come from some nutritional colleges. What is the kind of education that is really being imparted over there? Is it something natural and real that goes as per the laws of the human body, the laws of nature, and the seasons, and the local environment? or it's some concoction of some research in some controlled environment that's completely unnatural. It is only from understanding what packaged foods are and what's in them and how dangerous it is for the human body that people finally make a switch to not having processed foods. It is only through education and understanding that a person can go into a retail store and say that no, I don't want this polished white rice, I want brown rice instead. Or I don't want crystallized sugar, I want brown sugar or jaggery instead. And I don't want inorganic food. Why can't I get fresh organic vegetables? Now this is the way people participate, and when you go and you keep on asking these questions at stores, it creates a demand. And after all, shopkeepers are just businessmen who want to make money out of what is going to sell in society. And if society is not aware and they say, well fine, wonderful packaged food products, this, that, what is the expiry date and all that, then your people are just calling for more and more packaged food products in the system. So it's only once you are aware that you can go and ask for things that are healthier. And once that demand increases, then the shopkeepers start keeping more and more of the organic and healthy food products. And this signal goes back to the stockists, because obviously even they just want to stock what is being sold. And if a stockist doesn't, certain products that are packaged do not sell, then that message goes right back to the producers. And the producers also stop producing that slowly because it's not selling. So it's the vote of the every person and their shift and their daily choices that sends a signal right through the entire food supply chain, right to the extent that what is grown. So you don't really need to do huge campaigns on we need organic farming, we need pesticide free food, and those movements really don't work trying to force people or companies to change things that they're doing. Why will they change? What they're doing is selling. So unless you stop buying and you start educating other people about not buying unhealthy foods, then that supply is never going to stop in the system. So this is what I am trying to help people understand through this whole program. It is you and your proper daily choices, be a conscious consumer and understand that you're not just working for yourself. Of course, you're doing it on a daily basis for your own health. But in the bargain, you are working the entire system. And you are part of that solution that is helping more fresh foods come in, more natural foods come in, and decreasing the amount of garbage and pollution in the world. Also, it adds to the cost. So I am an advocate of buying local, growing local, so that people can be more self-sustained, and there's a lesser transit time between production and finally when it reaches to the consumer, because that's one of the main reasons that packaging or preservatives and all of those chemicals are required. So just by being a conscious consumer but working on your own health, you are doing work across the globe, and that's my message to people about this whole thing. You've got to be the change you want to see, and not just think of the problem, it's out there, it's them. No, the problem starts with us, and unless we change, everything out there is not going to change.
Thank you, Darryl. That was very insightful. So could you tell us how people can access your book and be in touch with you and also know about your upcoming programs?
Yes, my book is a free download from my website in a PDF format, and the website is becomehealthyOrExtinct.com. And if you're anywhere in India, you can also order a printed copy and it gets couriered to your place. Now, I'm also pretty active on Facebook, so that's the place where I publicize a lot of my talks and programs and articles on health. So that would be a place to also, get regular updates from me. On my website, there is a tab that's called Health Workshops. That's where you will get to know my next upcoming programs. And I'm doing this talk next in Delhi on 28th of this month at Fitness Fusion in Vasant Kunj at 5 o'clock. And the day after that, it's 29th and 30th, Saturday and Sunday. I'm also doing my full one-day health workshop that teaches people all of these topics. And one of the main things I teach over there is acupressure for diagnosis and healing. Because when it comes to the topic of a person healing themselves, you really don't have the confidence or can't get started unless you know what the real problem is. Having a headache or having a backache or having indigestion, they are all just symptoms of what is really going on inside. But with acupressure, by just pressing the points on your hands and with a simple technique, you can figure out whether the weakness is in your liver or your kidney or your lungs or your digestive tract. And so that becomes a very important part of what I teach. A person, they should know very correctly where the problem lies and then accordingly apply solutions.
Thank you so much, Darryl, for being with us online today and sharing this valuable information. Wish you all the best with your efforts and hope that more and more people become conscious consumers and part of the wellness revolution.
Thank you too for having me online, and it was a pleasure sharing what I'm doing and this information on health, and I look forward to being with you online again sometime soon.